And I have to admit, I feel quite helpless in this situation, which is why I came to you.
Well, I'm pleased that you're here and you're willing to work through this issue. Let me ask you this. What do you see as a successful outcome to this situation?
To change Susan and Marion's work relationship. Make it a more positive one. That's my goal.
Easy to say, right? So what specifically do you need by the end of our conversation to help you meet your goal?
Well, that's a good question. I definitely need a plan on what to do. That's why I came to you, Paul. You're the expert. I figured you'd have some good advice.
Well, before I share my thoughts, I'd really like to hear what you have to say. On a scale of 1 to 10, where do you think you are in dealing with this problem?
Right now, a 3, maybe a 2. It's embarrassing.
Okay, so where do you need to be?
A 10, definitely. I really want to resolve this issue.
Now, I can tell. I can hear the commitment in your voice. So, what are your ideas?
My ideas? Well, that's just it. I don't know what to do. I'm not equipped.
What have you tried so far?
Well, I've thought about it a lot, and I've worried about it even more. But all I've done is physically separate them like school children. Their cubicles are on opposite ends of the office. Not much of a solution, is it?
What are your thoughts?
Well, my intention was to give the rest of the staff a bit of a breather from all the drama. But now that I hear myself talking about it, I see that I'm not dealing with the real problem.
Fair enough. So, how do you deal with the real problem?
Well, I thought about bringing in someone from outside the office. An expert that could work with both Susan and Marion. Human resources, maybe?
Sounds like an option.
I think I've been avoiding it, though, because I've wanted to prove that I could deal with this situation on my own. The new supervisor wanting to show that she can face this challenge by herself.
I understand. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's a new job, and we learn best by doing. I have to say, Allison, in the short time you've been in the job, I've seen you handle some pretty challenging situations. Just look at how well you handled that customer complaint in the media's response we got last weekend.
Well, thank you for the feedback and the reminder. Both Susan and Marion were a big help with coming up with a solution for that customer. They may not get along, but individually, they are exceptional performers.
That's good to hear. It's an important factor. So let's go back to this idea of yours of having a third party. What do you think the implications of getting human resources involved would be? The pros and cons?
On the pro side, I would have help and support with dealing with this tough issue. And I wouldn't have to get too involved. But now that I mention it, it might actually make the situation worse. Susan and Marion might feel like I'm going behind their backs. What am I thinking? I need to talk to Susan and Marion. It's my responsibility, not HR's.
How do you feel about this idea?
Well, it's probably something I should have done when I first noticed the conflict. This has really been affecting the team's morale, and it's just not healthy.
Okay, so I'm hearing you say that talking to Susan and Marion is important. What do you need to do first?
Well, first, I need to talk to them both individually and outline what I feel is the problem, and then also get their feedback. That way I can get both sides of the story. I need to express to them what my expectations are, as supervisor, that this conflict needs to be resolved no matter what. And I need to make them understand how this is really affecting the team.
Sounds like the beginning of a good plan. How soon can you get started?
Well, this is Monday, so by Friday I could have a plan in place. Then I could set up meetings for next week.
What, if anything, should get in your way?
Well, I've never done anything like this before, and it's not really something I'll enjoy. So, as far as something getting in the way, only myself, I guess. I think that's been the problem with this issue all along. But it's really helped to talk it out like this. I can see that it's my responsibility to deal with this problem head on. It's not going to be easy, but I know I can do it.
What support do you need to feel comfortable?
Well, maybe this is where HR could come in. I thought HR could talk to Susan and Marion and fix everything. But maybe I could tell them my plan and see if they have any tips or suggestions. This would definitely help me be a better supervisor.
Sounds like a plan, Allison. So let's summarize what you've come up with. What will you do and when?
By Friday, I'll have a plan in place to talk to Susan and Marion next week. I will set up meetings with them both for Monday. And, I'll touch base with Janet from Human Resources and see if she has any tips or suggestions. In fact, after we're done here, I'll give her a call.
Good. How can I support you on this, Allison?
Well, I could use your feedback too after I have my plan in place. Maybe we can meet on Friday and review.
Okay. So, come by Friday and we'll go over your plan together.
Okay, thank you so much for all the advice. It's helped a lot.
Hey, you did all the work, Allison. I'll see you Friday.